And Britain's #1 Jo Konta against Petra Kvitova, twice the Wimbledon champion, is coming up next live on Centre Court here on BBC Two this afternoon. But talking about Grand Slam champions, here's a former Grand Slam champion, Sam Stosur, who just happened to be wandering by, and we thought, well, why not? Why not just have a chat? So, how are you? You've been coming here many, many times. Do you like Eastbourne?
I do, yeah. I've come here, like you said, many times, and have always, really enjoyed my week here and had some pretty good results. So, yeah, it's always nice to come back.
Tell me, you always seem to me to embody everything cliched, stereotypical Aussie. You just fight. You just got that sort of dog in you that you're never going to go until you have to go. Were you always like that as a kid?
Yeah, I've always been pretty competitive. So no matter what I was doing, whether it was playing whatever in the backyard with my brothers or tennis or, sport at school, I always wanted to try to win. So I guess that's a good thing, being a tennis player.
Well, I mean, it's especially now. I mean, you've been on the tour long enough to know. I mean, it's so competitive, isn't it?
Yep.
There is no such thing as an easy game.
No, there's not. I think, the level of our tennis now is better and better every year, every decade. So I think, maybe a person ranked 50 in the world 10 years ago probably may not cut it now with somebody in that same position now. So you've got to be, prepared every single time you step on court to have a really tough battle.
I was talking to Sam Smith, who's commentating for us, and she said, ask Sam, she said. She's got the most amazing flat in Sydney overlooking the water. Is that right?
How did she know?
Well, I don't know how she knows that, but anyway, she said, what's she still doing travelling the world when she could just sit there, and sip a martini looking out at Bondi or whatever? Why are you still doing it?
Because I love it. Look, I think results like I just had at Roland Garros, and actually the whole lead into Roland Garros, I was really pleased with the way I played, and I think when I'm doing that and I know I can compete with the best players in the world, it's really enjoyable. When you're having a bit of a down slump, it's a little bit harder to want to leave home, but at the end of the day, I love what I do, and I know whenever it is that I do retire, I'm going to be a long time retired, so why not make the most of it right now?
When you won the US Open, you were the first Aussie to win a title since Yvonne Goolagong, weren't you, which were 3 decades or so.
Yep.
That must have been huge.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting. It was a dream come true for me, and it was my second Slam final, and that time around I kind of knew what to expect a little bit more, and went out there, knew exactly what I wanted to do and what I needed to do, and I did it perfectly. So I guess if there's any time to do it, it's then. And it was, like I said, it was a dream come true, so something that I'll always remember. Does
it change your life being a Grand Slam champion? Do you suddenly elevate yourself in other people's eyes and in your own esteem, if you like, to being a bit more than you were the day before?
I think a lot of other people do. I mean, I'm still doing the same thing 5 years later. It hasn't changed for me, but certainly, the year after or so, you get a few extra little perks on tour, and people want to talk to you a little bit more, and then if that goes away, then you kind of know where you stand again. But no, I'm still the same player, same person, same everything, but it's just something that I've obviously been able to achieve and something that I'm very proud of.
You literally just wandered in, so I didn't have a chance to ask you if this was true, and there's always a danger of asking a really random question and having it thrown back at you, because I once interviewed Frankie Dettori, who's a great jockey.
Yep.
On the internet it said that he'd been brought up by nuns. So live on television...
I haven't been.
No. That wasn't my question. And I was going to say, so live on television, I said, you had an extraordinary upbringing, didn't you? You were brought up by nuns. And he looked at me and went, but I wasn't. So I'm always a bit wary of just picking things out. But it did say that when you were 6, your whole family's house got washed away by floods. Is that true?
That is true. We...
Thank heavens for that. Well, not heaven, no, that's, you know what I mean. Do you have any recollection of that, or were you too young?
I don't remember that exact moment and night when it happened. We were living on the Gold Coast at the moment, and Mum and Dad had management rights to a block of flats, and they all went under, so for some reason they decided to move to Adelaide, and that's where I first started playing tennis. Maybe in hindsight, who knows, if the flood didn't happen, maybe I would never have started playing tennis and been able to do what I do. So it certainly wasn't good for the family, but we were able to start again, and
Do your mum and dad talk about it?
Oh yeah, we've talked about it. We lost a lot of photos and lots of things. She nearly lost her wedding ring, and my older brother dived in the water and found it. So I'm sure it was a very scary moment for them. But like I said, I was pretty young and don't really remember it.
Are your folks here with you?
They are, yeah, they've come over again.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, I didn't realise it had been so long. The last time they were here was 2004, so they're loving Eastbourne. We go to Wimbledon tomorrow, and then they're going to go on a little holiday, so nice for them to be able to come over and see a little bit of tennis and then have a trip.
Do you love having them here?
Yeah, it's nice. So, like I said, they haven't been away for a long time. They've come to the US Open a couple of times since then. They always come to the Australian Open, but yeah, it's nice for them to enjoy, I guess, watching me play and being in another country and experience all these things that I get to every single week.
Just the last couple of questions, Sam.
Yep.
Just going back to the parents thing, actually, because it's so this is an extraordinary sport. There are an awful lot of parent-child relationships that have gone horribly haywire in the course of tennis.
Yep.
But you seem to be happy with everything, which is a great, that's a massive advantage, isn't it, to have that bedrock, if you like, for the rest of your career?
Yeah, I think, I mean, they've always been involved in my tennis, but never been my coach and never necessarily travelled as such with me, but they've always taken a really big interest in it, and they watch all my matches at home, but we've been able to have that, I guess, separation where I've got my coach and all the team around me, and then they can just enjoy it a little bit from afar, and I think that's worked well for me. So, and they don't know anything about tennis really, as far as coaching, so it's probably a good thing that that they're not coaching me.
And how much longer? Obvious question, but if you are loving it, and let's face it, semi-finalist at Roland Garros, why not keep going?
Yep.
What do you think will be the determining factor?
Probably just your health and injuries and body-wise. And the last few years, there's been a few, not big injuries that have kept me out, but little niggly things where you're not quite 100% for a long period of time. And touch wood, this year I'm doing well again.
No wood here.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think if I'm fit and healthy and feel like I said before, can compete with the best in the world, then I want to do it. So who knows? I'd say at least another few years, and then maybe I'll reassess.
Absolutely. And listen, as we head off to centre court for Kvitova against Konta, what's your take on this game?
I think it'll be tough. Petra's probably not having the best year ever, but I'm sure when she steps on these grass courts, she absolutely loves it. And Jo's having a fantastic year and playing at home on a surface that I'm sure she likes. So hopefully it'll be a really good match.
Sat on the fence there.
Okay, I'll go Jo. I'll go for the local.
Great to meet you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sam Stosur.